To respond to that most ridiculous point that was made, there was actually 6 years of discussion around this issue, and the only reason why it was progressed over the course of the last year and a half is because DUP councillors pushed hard and insisted that it be addressed. The Alliance Party was perfectly happy and content for the proposal to lie on a shelf gathering dust. In terms of the comments that have just been made by the previous speaker from Sinn Féin concerning the nature of Operation Banner, people will of course be aware that Operation Banner concerns the involvement of the army here in this part of the United Kingdom, and people will also be aware as to why the army had to be brought in to this part of the United Kingdom in the very first instance. And people will also be aware when the councillor uses phrases like lives destroyed, towns wrecked, people's homes wrecked, people's lives ruined. No one do those attributes more suitably fit than the provisional IRA, who waged war against the civilian population of this country, who murdered people on the basis of their religion. Sectarian criminals is exactly what the provisional IRA was, and I think it's a shame that an attempt by Alderman Patterson to reflect on the fact that she brought this motion 5 years ago and she's glad that this issue has now been dealt with once and for all, should have been used for that. You talk about Councillor O'Neill talks about the interpretation of history. That interpretation of history was worthy of Pravda. So depraved and biased was it. The fact of the matter is that there are thousands of people without husbands, without wives, without loved ones, without children, because of the actions of the Provisional IRA and other terrorist organisations in Northern Ireland. The UDR was not a terrorist organisation, no matter how much provos try to claim otherwise. It was not. It was the forces, the legitimate forces of law and order. And here we have a perfect example, Lord Mayor, of the bitter, mean-spirited nastiness that this party in Belfast, more so than in any other part of Northern Ireland, I suspect, than this party in Belfast exhibits. They demand fairness. They demand equality. They demand respect, but they deny it to their Protestant neighbours, and they deny it to those who served either in the police or in the armed forces, and they continue to deny it to the families of the disappeared, whose whereabouts their cohorts in the IRA know full well where those people are and refuse to give their loved ones any sense of closure. These benches will take no lectures whatever, from a group that's led by the former leader of IRA prisoners in Her Majesty's prison maze. We will take no lectures from that party. And when people talk, people who now seek to make capital out of the whole issue of the maze redevelopment, let me be very clear. Were it up to this party, it would still be a prison. And the people who destroyed this country would still be inside it, where they belong. Thank you, Lord Mayor.